How are things going special teams wise? Obviously, there were some bumps in the road a year ago. How are things going this year?
Some of those bumps were bigger than others. You know what? Again, 8 practices in, feel pretty good about where we're at. Really have kind of reshaped that room with older guys. I think that's what's critical. Is obviously there's talent. We had talent last year, but I think the guys that we have in there this year, just a veteran group, and their approach is much different. And I think when you get that, you see the result they show out here for sure.
Coach was saying earlier, you bring some juice to special teams, but he's calling himself the specialist coach.
I said, how convenient. I want to check back in like December and see if he's still the specialist coach. You know, that's what I told the guys today. We've had a really good 7 practices. Today we look good in field goal. Our punts were a little off. Some of that had to do with the snaps, but hey, these are times where you got to show out, and it only matters when you show out on Saturdays. That's what matters, right? It's game day. And so we have a talented group. They have to perform when the lights come on. They know that. But I'm good. He can be the specialist coach, and I'll keep bringing the juice.
How's Gomez done compared to what you hoped or expected?
I think he's right on par with our expectations. And, he's tremendously hard on himself. And he strives for perfection. And I know we've talked about this a little bit. Sometimes I tell him, like, look, man, perfection can be a deterrent from greatness. So you got to let yourself breathe a little bit. And so that's probably my biggest thing with him, is trying to coach him through being so hard on himself. But I think he's been just what we believed he would be. And again, it's a season. He's got to execute, but I have all the faith in the world that he will.
Is his leg about as good as you've seen?
Yeah, he's about as good as they get. I mean, I told you, I thought that was going to be 50, and it was closer to 55, and he hit that with probably a good 5 to spare. Now, again, we're up here at elevation, but I would feel comfortable in a game situation, that he could go out there and hit that 55 anywhere in the country, So ideally, we don't want that. So Marcus, if he can do me a little favor and get a few more yards. But no, he absolutely.
When you talk about Matt McKenzie, it's not only getting used to also punting, non-Australian style, but also holding. How do you think he's been done with the acclimation process?
Well, I'd take it one step further. It's just getting used to everything here in the States, right? Like every day is a new day for him. It's awesome because he's always got so many questions, and he's like, Coach, I got a question for the day. And so I give him a lot of grief, but he's awesome. He's naturally playing Australian rules footy. He's got great hands, and so it's just a matter of him, working different type of ball structure in terms of the shape. But he's getting accustomed to that, and he's getting better every day in all facets.
To piggyback off that, how do you feel Canyon and Jesus have been getting on the same page?
They're in lockstep, and they both just continue to get better with that hold and the placement, and then that's critical, And speaking of Canyon, I mean he has punted tremendous up until today. He was a little bit off. Some of that again were some snaps, but he'll bounce back. We got a great competition going with those two in that room.
You've said before too. Obviously, with Canyon holding, he's able to kick. How much of almost kind of more of an advantage to have a holder that has obviously had success kicking as well?
Well, he's so versatile, right? We ran 2 fake punts. He can throw it. He can run. He's an athlete, and that's part of why we recruited him, because of being the athlete that he is. And, we talked about getting work on the kickoffs, and so he went out, and when you see those great kickers, when they come through, they hit that thing, and it's almost like a hurdle, right? And what did he do his senior year? He went out and ran track and ran the hurdles. And that tells you what kind of kid he is. So very pleased, long way to go, but we're tracking the right way.
How about Ralig's potential as a returner?
Oh, man, you see that today. I love him. We sat down and in the summer, and we went through, and I told him, I was like, look, here, let me tell you about a guy named Darren Sproils. And I put him up on my board. I had a cut-up made of him from college to the NFL, and when he went to the Combine, it's an infamous story. They laughed at him, he was too small, too short, all those things, and he only went on to have an amazing NFL career. And I'm not saying Ralig's Darren Sproils just yet, but has that kind of explosiveness. It's unique. You don't see guys like him that have that ability to, make people miss and then go from 0 to 100 like that, and he's worked. I'm very proud of him because he's worked so hard this summer on catching punts, which is not easy. It's tough to do, and he's gotten really good at it. So I'm really excited for him in this season.
Kenny's mentioned that there's a lot of guys fighting to make the traveling squad, and you got to battle against other dogs. Now, special teams can be a big part of that. Have you noticed any dogs so far?
Well, I have. I mean, I really have, and I think that's one thing. Before I answer that, directly, I think that's the one thing we've increased our depth And so though our numbers have shrunk, which, you know, in theory hurts us, right? But the quality has gotten better per se. And so, you know, with that being said, you start looking at some guys like Rodney Bimmage, who redshirted for us last year, has made tremendous plays for us. Zachariah Samples is another one. You know, I got to sit here and think about it. You know, but there's several. Zachariah has really showed out, and he was a guy that, you know, was down a bit at the receiver spot. You start making plays in the special teams world, and now all of a sudden, guess what? He's going to find him a spot on the plane. So we're, you know, everybody's optimistic in camp, but this is the deepest we've been since we've been here for sure.
How cool is it for you to have fans that come up from the valley every day to watch practice?
This is, I mean, look, you know, yeah, it's a little warmer than usual, which, okay, if I had one gripe, that would be it. It's a little warmer, but like, just, I mean, yeah, I love it. Like, I mean, look at this. We're playing football. I mean, it doesn't get any better than this. And to have people come up and show how much they care about ASU football, and obviously Saturday's the crescendo, and what an awesome event that'll be. It's pretty special. And, you know, you just got to take it all in, and it's humbling, and very appreciative to be here and be a part of it.
I think about people coming an hour and a half, 2 hours just to come out and watch a practice up there. It means they're pretty dedicated.
No, they love their Devils if they're doing that. There's no doubt about it. And you know, you got to take your hat off to them. I mean, those are the people you feel compelled for when you go out and you maybe your guys don't perform the way they do, or you feel like I could have done something better coaching. Those are the people that you're like, oh man, because you know they really care. And that's what it's all about.
You mentioned your one gripe might be the heat. Kenny was talking yesterday how the facilities are a little bit dated, but it's a sign that you guys have been coming here year after year for the longest time. In an era of college football where everybody seems to change everything every year, how important is it for this culture to come back to this setting every year?
I think above everything else, what it does is it brings us together. You know, going up and sitting by the fires and just getting to, you know, intimately know each other. You know, I think that, and that's what I told the young guys last night. We have built, and you hear our guys talk about it, like the culture is real. And I said, listen, you young guys, it's up to you to continue to grow and foster that. Because when these older guys leave, somebody has to take the reins. And if we're going to continue to progress the way we want to as a program, that is, I mean, that is at the top of our list to continue our success. And I think Camp T is the focal point of where that really starts for each season.
Thanks, Charlie.
Awesome. Appreciate you guys.
Really appreciate it, man.
Appreciate you.